Procedure or partnership, the loyalty paradox, and the importance of relationship quality. Welcome. I am Professor Dr. Maya Warden, or Professor NWW. I am a researcher specializing in CRM, loyalty strategies, and AI-enabled customer experiences. In this podcast, we explore strategic CRM decisions, not as abstract theories, but as lived experiences with very real economic and relational consequences. Loyalty programs are a multi-billion-dollar industry. Airlines, retailers, and service firms invest enormous resources in points, status levels, and digital platforms. The true nature of a loyalty program is not revealed when everything works smoothly. It is revealed when something goes wrong. That is exactly what happened to me recently with Air France-KLM's Flying Blue, ironically just ranked #1 world's best airline rewards program, praised for being tailored to customer needs and enhanced customer experience. This shows that awards celebrate loyalty when systems work. Loyalty is tested when they don't, and in those moments, procedures often speak louder than relationships. Drawing on 25 years of research in loyalty programs and relationship marketing, I will show what went wrong and how this incident could have been handled far better without compromising fairness or governance. What if I told you that the best way to keep a loyal customer is sometimes to bend the rules? It sounds counterintuitive, almost heretical, in an EU world dominated by procedures, automation, and adherence to rules. Loyalty programs are built on rules, thresholds, tiers, expiration dates, and algorithms. Consistency is supposed to guarantee fairness. Automation is supposed to ensure efficiency. And yet, decades of research and one very small real-world incident tell a very different story. Let me tell you the story of the incident that triggered this reflection, a banal incident that happens to millions of other travelers. As a long-term loyal customer holding gold status within the Air France Flying Blue loyalty program, I missed retaining my status by just 14 experience points and 2 days. 14 points and 2 days due to a simple calendar-related misunderstanding. A few days after the downgrade, I made what seemed like a reasonable request. Sorry, I apologize for being 2 days too late. Can I simply use my air miles to buy the missing 14 XPs even if I am 2 days too late in the status maintenance process? What followed were several flat, standardized, not customer-oriented responses. No discussion, no escalation, no context. Flat, non-sincere apologies. The automatized procedure completely steamrolled the long-term relationship between Air France and me. And here is the twist. Having done academic research about loyalty and service recovery programs for more than 25 years, this service incident instantly became a real-world bad. Practice case study. One I now teach to my marketing students across Europe and Asia, because this case is not about lost perks like free tickets or baggage. It is about the emotional shock of demotion and lack of communication of Air France Flying Blue. Experimental psychology explains this very well. According to prospect theory developed by Nobel Prize winners Kahneman and Tversky, losses hurt far more than gains please. Losing a status you believe you have earned feels like rejection. It sends a clear and violent signal: you are no longer valued. This incident highlights a fundamental strategic issue in managing premium customer relationships. But what really matters, procedure or relationship? The core message coming from CRM research is simple, powerful, and uncomfortable. Rules and automation are necessary. They ensure fairness and scalability. But procedures should never override customer relationships. According to Adams' equity theory, well known in service recovery management, when service incidents are handled purely procedurally, at the expense of relational value, especially in marginal cases, they undermine customer trust, engagement, and long-term loyalty, often silently through churn, sometimes through negative word of mouth. So here is the million-euro question for any loyalty manager. Which strategy actually gets customers to pay to keep their status? Our extended academic research with empirical investigations done in multiple sectors, including airlines, hotels, and retail, published in top academic journals, gives a crystal clear answer. When customers receive a cold, automated, standardized reminder for the downgrade, the classic information strategy, only a limited share of customers stay loyal and engaged to the brand or airline. By contrast, when customers receive communication about a flexible, proactive extension, signaling recognition rather than threat, the loyalty performance lift is real. A pleasant 10% increase in willingness to pay, a plus 20% increase in loyalty, a pleasant 10% increase in trust, a 20% decrease in negative word of mouth. Thus, communication about status demotion recognition, and flexibility within reasonable limits of procedures increases gratitude, subsequently loyalty, as well as customer lifetime value, and prevents reputational damage. Most negative word of mouth is not caused by the rule itself, but by the feeling of being treated like a number rather than a valued customer. Detailed results can be found in our research article. Threatening the customer. Communication strategies to avoid the negative impacts of status demotion in hierarchical loyalty programs. And here is the most counterintuitive finding. Even customers who do stay on the short term loyal under pressure suffer a trust collapse. They comply, but they resent it. I call this the dual punishment trap. Customers stay behaviorally loyal for inertia or switching barriers, miles they want to spend and not lose. But trust and attitudinal loyalty in the brand or airline dramatically decline. In easy words, you win the transaction, but mortgage the relationship. You patch the leak today, but weaken the foundation of the relationship. And now the bomb blasts. Here is my very rough estimation of the financial ROI of this bad example of relationship marketing of Air France. A change in communication strategy, costing probably less than 200K in CRM rule adjustments, message redesign, and light AI chatbot tuning, can unlock millions in annual value for a major airline. How? Through higher requalification flights, loyalty, trust, upgrades, and ancillary revenues, increased willingness to pay, less negative and more positive word of mouth, lower complaint handling costs, and the protection of long-term customer lifetime value. Beyond that financial value, a service incident is not a cost. It is an opportunity. When service recovery is handled well, loyalty and brand gratitude do not just recover, they increase. According to our research, 70% of customers satisfied with recovery become more loyal. 96% dissatisfied customers become disloyal and spread negative word of mouth. The conclusion is unequivocal. Service recovery is not about compensation. For loyal customers, relational efforts and communication, recognition, personal attention, respect, empathy matter far more than monetary compensations to rebuild the relationship. And here is the final takeaway. I absolutely love this idea. In French, we use the concept du pépin à la pépite, which is a little glitch or a seed of a problem into a little nugget of gold. A minimal service incident with a gesture of flexibility delivers measurable gains across all key loyalty metrics at virtually no additional cost. Those 14 missing XPs in the Flying Blue program were small stones dropped into a pond. By saying no procedurally, without relational value, the airline kept it a problem and transformed it into a heavy millstone around their neck. By saying no categorically and procedurally without relational value, Air France Flying Blue managers kept it a problem and transformed it into a heavy millstone around their neck. By saying yes to purchase the 14 XP with my air miles 2 days after the deadline, they could have turned it into a gold nugget through increased loyalty. A small step for Air France Flying Blue, but a huge step into customer gratitude and engagement. So here is the Pépite playbook. 1. Identify loyal customers about to miss the mark. 2. Don't just remind, extend the deadline reasonably with a clear communication. 3. Frame it as recognition. It is exceptional, but we do that as we value you. 4. Finally, use the right KPIs. Yet decades of academic research show that satisfaction and Friedrich Reicheld's net promoter scores are weak predictors of true loyalty and engagement. What truly matters is trust and customer well-being, how customers emotionally and cognitively experience the relationship. Therefore, I advise measuring CRM KPIs through customer trust, well-being, and engagement, not just simple NPS. And that leaves us with one final question. When a valuable customer is right on the edge, is your system designed to enforce the rulebook or to build a human relationship? Because that difference determines whether a company keeps a customer for one more year or earns a loyal advocate for life with growing lifetime value. For Flying Blue and Air France KLM's CEO Ben Smith, the real challenge is therefore not winning awards when everything works, but proving that loyalty leadership exists when procedures fail and relationships are truly on the line. Thank you very much for listening. If you are interested in my research about customer loyalty, service recovery, and smart technologies in marketing, stay tuned to my YouTube channel, AI-based Smart Ecosystems MU, for more insights on relationship marketing and technology-enabled customer experiences grounded in research and real-world cases.